I think what Ladea just talked about, what Colin just read to you, this whole idea of connecting the core values to Black History Month. I think both the core values and the way our school is able to do Black History Month in ways other schools aren't are two things that really inspire me and are basically examples of reasons why I love to work here. The dystopia class last semester, we read a lot of things about conformity and about the way society puts pressures on people to stop dreaming, I guess, in a way. And Tyler Watt asked me a question, like, what do I want to do with my life was basically the question. Like, am I satisfied? Because I was asking them, like, what do you want to do with your life? Is it pressured by things around you, or are you actually following the things you want to do? So he flipped the question around on me, which was welcome. And I don't know why I didn't expect it, but he did it. And I thought for a second, and at first it was like, yeah, I'm 35 years old. Like, I don't feel like I'm that old. Have I, like, achieved everything that I want to achieve? Have I done everything I want to do? And I don't think I have. But I did answer him that that doesn't come out of a place of unhappiness, because the way I explained it to him was, whether I'm 35 or whether I'm 55, if I'm still here, I'll be fine. And if I won the lottery today, I would show up to work tomorrow, and I would tell Chuck that I would work for free, but I would still be here, right? And that's kind of, I think, gets at the idea of why that is the case. I think can be exemplified by the intersection of this idea of the core values and this idea of Black History Month and what it represents. So I'm going to read to you this little piece here. I think one of the most important jobs of a school is to find a way to simultaneously make you, our students, comfortable and uncomfortable. I don't mean this in the sense that we should provide you a fluffy beanbag chair to sit in while Mr. Bradley tells you horrible jokes, because that would accomplish that. You would be comfortably discomforted if that were to happen. But what I'm suggesting is a little harder to truly achieve. I'm saying that we should provide you a space safe enough to express who you truly are, while pushing you to be able, by pushing you to be able to articulate and justify why the things you believe to be true are actually so. You should have the platform to explore your human capabilities in all their glory, but you should also shoulder the responsibility to intellectually explore these capabilities in a way that stands up to criticism. I think learning history is essential in this process, and Black history in particular. For history teaching to matter, the teacher must create an environment in which you are comfortable enough to listen, but occasionally uncomfortable enough to change and to grow and to learn. To, when necessary, set aside the things you thought you knew and absorb perspectives different from your own, and take on the responsibility to be able to accept that level of discomfort in a way that challenges you. When doing anything to get better, there is a time when you have to be willing to push yourself. No one becomes a better runner without being sore the next day at least once or twice, right? There's a level of discomfort that has to happen. Attempting to better yourself and live a values-based life is no different. There are going to be moments of discomfort. Every year, Black History Month provides us an opportunity to push on some of these things we think we know or understand. And, it's an opportunity that I'd also like to remind you exists every day, not just the 28 days that are in this month. If we ignore the richness, the resistance, the triumphs of this rich history, this Black history of our country, and only told the stories that made us all perfectly comfortable, as is done in too many history courses around our country, we would miss an opportunity to grow, to improve, and to be better prepared to meet the challenges of the 21st century. And actually, if we're being truthful, because of a lack of what I've just talked about, we're really still meeting challenges of the 19th century a lot of times. Our hesitation as a country to embrace discomfort has allowed problems, especially problems related to issues of race, to persist. People often quip that racism will just die out, like that those pictures were black and white. That was then, this is now, that these things, that time will heal these wounds, right? This is what people uncomfortable with actual discussions of race like to say to make themselves feel better for not taking part in those discussions. The college student Snapchatting in blackface that show up in the news from time to time, or the person that mockingly lynched Obama in the crowd of a Wisconsin football game, those were not old people. Those are not people that are dying out. Those were people that are closer to your age than even mine. Sorry, I lost my place. Richard Spencer, Tammy Lauren, Milo Yiannopoulos, Alex Jones, the alt-right, generally that's a young movement. That's not an old movement that's going to die out. Dylan Roof isn't old, right? These ideas, the idea that these people are just going to go away isn't true, okay? What will really end our national flood of racism isn't ignoring it and waiting for it to crest. It isn't laws and edicts from on high. It is, though, conversations that all of us will need to participate in earnestly. It's conversation that Black History Month provides us with an invaluable opportunity to start. Many of those conversations will, out of necessity, be uncomfortable for you and for me. I love the fact that university provides us the opportunity to have those uncomfortable discussions in such a loving and comfortable place. And as I'm a firm believer in practicing what you preach, and I think it's wrong to pretend to hold values dearly, and then when those values become at risk, to pretend or come up with reasons why you don't need to apply them at that moment. I feel that is less than authentic and less than true. So what I'm going to do now is practice what I preach and maybe make you a little uncomfortable. But hopefully it will allow you to think more deeply about what this month and this place can actually do for you. It's no secret that some of you roll your eyes at the mention of core values. It's no secret that some of you scoff at the mention of Black History Month. It's no secret that some of you just automatically turn off when someone from our community hops onto the stage to talk about diversity or political ideas that conflict with our values or issues of race, gender, sexuality. But when you do this, I'd like to remind you that you're not allowing yourself to see that the people doing the talking, and it often seems to be almost always the exact same people, that those people are risking quite a bit to do this speaking. You also aren't allowing yourself to truly get the most out of this unique place or those unique moments. The good thing is that you're young. You can afford to give yourself some time and space to grow and mature and realize that the opportunity to be the best version of yourself is right there in front of you every single day. You should also remember that just like racism won't magically die out, a life of values and purpose won't magically just manifest itself for you. Increasing the good and eliminating the bad take real work. Learning about the struggles and triumphs that live in us through our study of the history of African Americans in our nation is an invaluable aid to that work. Knowing what you believe, and more importantly, why you believe the things you count as essential to your values takes work and working out. The people on this stage realize that. Many of your classmates and teachers realize that. And I hope each of you will take 1 second out of being a little bit too cool for morning meeting to realize that too. Thank you, and I know we'd all be better for it if we did that. Thanks.